Welcome back to the 1 Minute Barber. Now, let's say you're like me and you have a little bit of a bald patch forming. This is the grim reality of middle age. It's what us guys have to face sometimes. I wasn't blessed with those amazing genes, those guys with really thick heads of hair in their 40s. My hair's going thin. Now I've got options. I could take some steroids and hopefully the hair grows back after 9 months of taking medication. I could go out to Turkey and blow a few £1,000s on a hair transplant, or I could spend a few bucks on this Hairporium hair fibres, which is a temporary fix but covers bald spots really well. Now, Hairporium sent these out to me to trial, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can somehow break them. Let's see what the limitations of hair fibres are. One of the first things about hair fibres is please try and make sure you get the right shade. For me, it's dark brown. If I get a lighter shade, it's going to be clearly obvious that I've been using hair fibres, and that's not the intended result. They've given me 25 grams of this dark brown hair fibre straight out of the box, and this handy little pump for applying it. The pump just screws on the top, and there we go. And the idea is with the pump is to just pump it into the hair like this. I've got to admit, this is quite hard doing this when you can't see it. So again, use 2 mirrors. I've got my little hand mirror and a mirror in front of me. Okay, so far so good. Let's see if we can hit it with a hairdryer, like wind, and blow the stuff out of the hair. Well, I am impressed so far. That's another test passed, but I still want to test this further. Okay, so it did all right with the wind. Let's get some water, like sweat, okay? I'm gonna spray some water in, we'll wet it down, and then I'll dry it and we'll see how it looks then. As if you were out on a rainy day after you've put hair fibres in. Okay, plenty of water in there with the hair fibres. Let's blow dry it and we'll see how it finishes. I would say that after wetting it down and blow drying it, that it wasn't quite as good as when I first put it in, but there was still some coverage there. So it goes to show you that, you know, if you were caught out in the rain or whatever, it's not going to just start running down your head. It does stick to the hair, which is good to know. So I've got one final test, and that's the pillow test. Let's see if this stuff ends up all over my white pillows after I've had a night's sleep. In order for me to test this further, that means I get to have a little sleep. Perfect. So let's see in the morning if the pillowcase is covered in hair fibres or not. So here's the pillowcase the next day. You can see quite a lot of hair fibre on the pillowcase. That was kind of to be expected, I suppose. My advice would be to just wash it out before bed and then reapply the next day. Alright, I'm actually well impressed with the Hairporium product, and I'm going to style it with their own hair clay. Now I'm going to put a link for both the Hairporium powder and the clay in the description below. Okay, I've applied the product. It smells nice, it does what it says. However, I've got quite a lot of hair fibre now on my fingers. Don't worry about that. Probably I wouldn't use clay, that's their own brand of clay. I would probably use something more like a fixing spray, something like hairspray, that kind of thing. If you're using hair fibres, that might help them to stay in the hair. But because this is quite a heavy product, it's dragging some of the hair fibres out onto the surface of the palms of my hands. If you do go looking to use hair powder, I would just recommend try and get as close to your natural shade as possible. It is a relatively inexpensive purchase, so if you get it wrong, you can always just get the next one. Don't worry about it. It's not like a hair transplant. When that goes wrong, you're in trouble and you've lost a lot of money. I hope you enjoyed that video and you found it informative. Now don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to hear more from me, and you can find me on Instagram at the 1 Minute Barber. Until next time, good luck with your hair powder.